Hi, my name's Pam, and I just wanted to give my opinion about something. I was on my way to the store earlier today, and I, en route, drove past one of the churches, and there was a couple homeless guys sitting out in front of the church, panhandling, and the church was getting out at that time, and a lot of the members of the church were walking past these homeless guys and what appeared to be talking crap to them, that they shouldn't be there by the church doing that, and they were looking at them with disgust and just, like they were pieces of shits, and it was just all wrong to me. I mean, they're in church worshiping God, and then they walk outside to go back to their homes and their lives with their families, and they're judging and talking crap to these homeless guys that are out there trying to get some money for food. And those homeless guys, I mean, they're somebody's, son or daughter, mother or father, brother or sister. They are our brothers. I mean, we're all brothers and sisters here, and I see a lot of people, that go to church every Sunday, and, they worship God, and they, religiously go to church every Sunday. And then all week long, they're cussing and getting drunk or beating their wives or kids or whatever bad habits they're doing all week long. Then they go to church once a week and worship God and think that everything's cool because, I went to church on Sunday. Well, everything's not cool. First of all, God doesn't care where you pray. It doesn't have to be in a man-made church. You can pray to God anywhere, because the reality is this is God's church. I mean, look around you. All around us is God's church. We are in God's home, and we are allowed to live here. We have been blessed with this earth, which is God's home. And so God's church surrounds us. And those homeless guys out there that these people were talking shit to and looking down upon and judging, God doesn't look at them as homeless guys and look down on them. God looks at them as his sons. He loves them just as much as all of you that were sitting in church that day, I mean, what's the difference? Just because, you go to church makes you a better person. Anybody can become homeless. You can make a few wrong choices and lose your home in a heartbeat. It can happen to anybody. Not everybody that's on the streets is a drug addict or an alcoholic. Yeah, sure, there's a lot of people out there that are drug addicts and alcoholics, but not everybody. 70% of all homeless people are disabled, mentally or physically, and don't have anybody, and so they end up on the streets. But I feel like, instead of going to church every Sunday, take one Sunday out a month and go out into your homeless community and bring a warm jacket or a new pair of shoes, or even a used pair of shoes, or some socks or a sleeping bag or a hot meal to a homeless person, or just sit down and talk to a homeless person. They're just people like me and you. A lot of times homeless people are, more compassionate and more caring and more giving than, people with money. My favorite saying is, on the day of our judgment, we are not going to be judged by how successful we are, or how many diplomas we have, or how much money we've made, or how big our house is. We're going to be judged on, I was thirsty and you gave me drink. I was hungry and you gave me food. I was naked and you clothed me. I was homeless and you gave me shelter. Those are the things that matter. I think that we should be a blessing to somebody. I do not believe that when God created man, that He created us to be me, my, I kind of people. I believe that He created us to be we, us, our people. The whole idea is to do more for somebody else than you do for yourself. The reward is in the giving. So I really was disturbed by what I saw today. And I don't get on YouTube too often, I'm not, one of those that gets on and posts videos every other day and stuff like that. But I do have a YouTube account, and I thought that I would, just share my thoughts about this with the public and, hoping somebody will see it, I mean, we're supposed to reach out to each other, be a blessing to each other, Don't judge anybody just because you're sitting in church once a week and they're on the streets, If you don't want to give them money because you're afraid they're going to go out and buy alcohol or whatever with it, bring them a hot meal and give it to them. Or, you'd be surprised how important a pair of socks and underwear are to a homeless person, I mean, you'd be surprised. Spend some time with a homeless person, just talking to them, or just go give them a hot meal. And then when you're done with that, spend the rest of your day walking the beach or the park or by a lake or wherever it is that you live, and pray to God in, His environment. We are in His environment, not in a man-made church. I mean, churches are great, fine, it's a great place to worship, but we are in God's church surrounding us. Sit in your backyard and quietly pray to God. He's going to hear you. And what He's going to hear more is that kindness that you have shown to your fellow man. He's going to hear that before He's going to hear your words. So be a blessing to somebody and don't judge people because they're homeless. That's all.